Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
The Geneseo Air Show gets underway this Saturday, and our Maggie Hall is getting a front row sneak peek into all the action airplane enthusiasts can expect from the spectacle, including an airplane that's played a big part in our nation's history.
With a design so secretive and coveted that we were prohibited by the U.S. government to film the jet head-on and to conduct any filming from at least 20 feet away, getting up close and personal with the F-22 Raptor stealth jet was certainly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You can catch the jet in action this weekend at the Geneseo Air Show, June 4th and 5th, with the gates opening at 9 a.m. every day. I spoke with Corning native Staff Sergeant Alan Van Eden and Major Joshua Gunderson about their crew and the jet itself.
I'm a crew chief on the jet, so I get to do anything front to back when it comes to mechanical side, whether it's pulling engines, operating any type of landing gear issues. So whenever he comes back and says, something's wrong with the jet, I get to look into it, make sure we have it ready and turned to go so we can go back up the next day.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm the demonstration team commander and pilot, so my job is basically manage the team in terms of all the traveling we do and showing the airplane off at different show sites. I'm also the one that's going to be flying the actual demonstration.
Awesome. All right, so tell me a little about, in your own words, how does it feel to fly one of these?
I mean, the F-22 is the coolest airplane out there. So in terms of maneuverability, speed, performance, all the cool things you think about in terms of like cars that go fast, it's like that but in the skies. And as a pilot, it lets you do pretty much anything you could absolutely want to do. It's awesome.
I'm born and raised Corning, New York. In 2014, I was a Corning Paint and Post West Side grad.
That's
so
awesome.
It's good to be home and gonna have a lot of family coming out. So glad to be here. Everybody's gonna, get to see what we get to do on a daily basis. So it's gonna be a good time.
That's so cool, guys. And thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely.
All right, this is Maggie Hall with WYDC, Big Fox, Corning, Elmira.
In an effort to provide some relief to drivers as gas prices soar, New York is suspending its gas tax through the rest of the year. The statewide tax cut, which equates to a discount of 16 cents per gallon, went into effect yesterday. Governor Kathy Hochul is hoping that discount will get even bigger. She's asked several counties across the state to also suspend or cap their gas taxes too. The goal is to provide some relief at the pump. Drivers say they welcome all the help they can get.
I mean, every cent counts because, I was just talking to a family member in Florida. She's paying $50 to fill up the tank. I'm paying $80 to fill up the tank. So, I work paycheck to paycheck, so it's tough. It's tough. Every cent counts for sure.
New York's gas tax break will stay in effect for the next 7 months. It comes as AAA reports the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is now above $4 in all 50 states. Pressures of inflation are keeping older Americans from retiring and heading back into the workforce. More Americans are working past the traditional retirement ages of 65 to 69, and inflation is bringing more back to work instead of leisure activities. According to a report, job site Indeed says senior work levels spiked 3.3% higher than last reported in 2017. 2 people are injured when a small plane crashes on a golf course in Pennsylvania. This happened Wednesday afternoon in the town of Wayne. That's about 15 miles northwest of Philadelphia. The 2 people on the plane, a 70-year-old pilot and his wife, were injured. According to investigators, the pilot had mechanical failure and saw the golf course as a good place to make an emergency landing. Witnesses helped the couple and their 2 cats get out of the plane. The NTSB and the Federal Aviation Administration are investigating. Tense moments following a ride malfunction at the Kennywood Amusement Park in western Pennsylvania. Park officials say a group of visitors were stuck upside down on the Aero 360 ride for a total of 5 minutes. Staff members were able to successfully bring the ride back to its designated resting position before evacuating all the riders. No one was hurt as a result of the incident. The ride has remained closed pending an investigation. A House committee holding an emergency meeting to move forward on gun control bills. But Republicans say the Democratic-led legislation goes too far, while the Senate is working on their own measures. Here's Lauren Blanchard from Washington with more.
I've seen it on TV this last couple of weeks, and it's startling to just have to go through that. It's very, very scary.
Wednesday in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Last week, Uvalde, Texas, and weeks before, Buffalo, New York. 3 mass shootings, 35 lives lost. There has been an outcry for lawmakers to do something. House Democrats in the Judiciary Committee Thursday marking up a large gun control package. It would bar the sale of semi-automatic rifles to those under 21, ban high-capacity magazines, put limits on so-called ghost gun kits, and require serial numbers on parts, plus place higher penalties on straw purchases of guns and require safe storage.
It has not even been 24 hours since the last mass shooting, and who knows how long until the next one. Too soon? My friends, what the hell are you waiting for?
But House Republicans say it goes too far and is destined to fail in the Senate.
Democrats are always fixated on curtailing the rights of law-abiding citizens rather than trying to understand why this evil happens.
In the Senate, conversations are ongoing to come up with gun control measures that could pass both parties.
There are more Republicans involved in these conversations more seriously than ever before. There's reason to believe that maybe this time is different.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also says next week she'll bring up a bill to ban assault rifles. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Police in Berkeley, California arrest a 16-year-old who may have been trying to recruit others for an attack on Berkeley High School. Police received a tip Saturday that the teen was trying to recruit others for this attack. Police searched the teen's home and found parts for explosives and rifles, along with knives and electronic items that could be used to make other weapons. The suspect surrendered Monday and was arrested. Celebrations have begun in London, with thousands gathering to celebrate the historic reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Madeline Rivera has more from London.
Plenty of pomp and circumstance on display as the Platinum Jubilee celebrations get underway to celebrate Queen Elizabeth II's 70 years on the throne.
Her Majesty, joined by working members of the royal family on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, taking in the sights of the military flyover, featuring more than 70 aircraft. Massive crowds gathered as far as the eye can see, cheering on the monarch and celebrating her reign.
Her Majesty is such a fantastic figure worldwide, and I just have so much admiration for her, as you know, as so many other people do.
Basically come to make memories. It's only going to happen once. You're never ever going to see this again in your lifetime.
The Platinum Jubilee, a 4-day-long celebration kicking off Thursday with Trooping the Color, a military parade steeped in tradition. Prince Charles playing a key role in the ceremony, accepting a salute on behalf of his 96-year-old mother, accompanied by his sister, Princess Anne, and son, Prince William. Spectators traveling from near and far to be part of this historic moment and show their appreciation for the Queen's decades of service.
The Queen's obviously been around for such a long time. She's been the only Queen that we've ever known, so we just felt after all her years of service it was the least we could do, really, to come up and, you know, show our respects and just enjoy all the fun.
Friday celebrations will include a service of Thanksgiving to be held at St. Paul's Cathedral. In London, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Your complete forecast is next. Plus, it's the fastest growing sport in the nation. A look at what exactly makes pickleball so popular. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, good evening. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Triplett, and we did have that rainy weather move its way through. Overall accumulation for your Wednesday was just over 1/4 of an inch, so a good dosing of some rainfall there with those thunderstorms. But what we'll trend to see is that we have a cooling and drying pattern. You can see those gray clouds even in Binghamton cleared out to those blue skies at times, and we'll continue to see those blue skies pass with some cloud cover at times, as we will see some weak systems transition across the state of New York. So through the overnight, we still keep temperatures near sea seasonal, as we are looking at to drop into those lower 50s, and then still under that sunshine, those high temperatures are going to be able to climb at least into those 60s, potentially the low 70s, as there is going to be a weak and drier cold front that works its way in, and that's going to allow for Saturday to be your cold day of the week. So skies will continue to clear as we will see those near seasonal temperatures. Now with that weak passage of that frontal system, there may be some uptick in cloud cover, maybe a slight mention of some showers, especially farther north towards the Finger Lakes and then off into north central portions of New York. But it is also going to bring some stronger winds at times, so gusts even from Friday into Saturday. But there is going to definitely be more sunshine than cloud cover, especially as you head from Saturday into Sunday's forecast, as we'll keep that quieter weather and cooler weather through the weekend. Before next week, we might see those temperatures climb, but it is going to be paired with the potential of some instability and some rain and storm chances. So rolling through forecast overall starting tomorrow morning, you can see the bulk of that system is going to continue to move its way out of New York. Some of that passing cloud cover there with that weak system. There's a spotty shower or two. You can even see here there's another one of those weak systems that will be pushing in. Some uptick in that reflectivity. So maybe a stray shower or two and some of those puffy or cumulus clouds that are able to develop, but overall minor accumulations, if anything at all. Maybe a sprinkle or two on the windshield, and then it passes on and you are going to see that sunshine dominate as you head into that Saturday forecast. So Friday's highs, again, still looking at near seasonal, 76 into Elmira, Corning 75, Wayland about 72, so a little cooler towards the Finger Lakes, especially as we head into that Saturday and Sunday forecast, where we are looking at morning low temperatures to fall out of the 50s and even into the 40s. So not far from that average of 51, but still cooler than what we have been seeing, especially with the heat and humidity we had earlier this week. Now looking at Saturday's high temperatures, this is your cold spot. Lower 70s, even looking at 60s up through the Finger Lakes. So some frigid conditions, especially for this time of the year when we should see that warming. And then as mentioned, there is going to be a few wind gusts, 25, 30 miles per hour possible as we head into Saturday before things will calm down as we head into that Sunday forecast. Sunday does bring us back up into those lower 70s, still below average, but we're back towards that average on Monday, but that's going to be associated with a warm front that is going to give us a chance for some scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms as we head into the early parts of the week, and then we see another round of those showers continue as we head into the middle of the end of next week as temperatures look to take another dive back into those 60s as early as that Thursday forecast.
The Biden administration is lifting Trump-era restrictions on flights to Cuba. More than one-third of Americans with this kind of salary say they're living paycheck to paycheck, and that number may surprise you. Plus, the one simple trick you can do to show your coworkers you care. CJ Papa has these stories and more in today's Fox Business Briefs.
The Transportation Department is making it easier for Americans to travel to Cuba. The Trump administration banned U.S. and charter flights from going to Cuban cities other than the capital, Havana. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says opening up flights was in support of the Cuban people and in the foreign policy interests of the U.S. Struggling to make ends meet, a new survey showing more than a third of Americans earning at least $250,000 every year are living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation. The Payments.com and Lending Club report finding 36% of households taking in nearly 4 times the median U.S. salary devote almost all of their income to household expenses. Being nice to your coworkers may actually help your job performance and theirs. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego found a simple thank you can generate the biological response of gratitude, which helps a person better manage stress and helps them perform better on high-pressure tasks. The study also finding it can have a drastic effect on a person's long-term health. Researchers believe the findings can be important for helping companies create more positive work environments. And remember to get your free treat on Friday for National Donut Day. Krispy Kreme is giving out freebies. Dunkin' customers can get a free donut with the purchase of a beverage. For more stories, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm CJ Papa.
It looks like tennis, but it's not, and its name is definitely as unforgettable as it is fun to say. Ashley Stromier has more on the trendiest sport in the country and what makes it so popular.
It goes by an unusual name, but it's something a growing number of Americans can't seem to get enough of. Pickleball. According to the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, it's now the fastest growing sport in the entire country.
It's the one rare sport that you can have every age, every generation, every background.
The game, which combines elements from tennis, badminton, and ping pong, is still relatively young. Invented in Washington State back in 1965 by 3 dads who wanted an inclusive activity for family members of all ages. And one of their dogs, Pickles, is the game's namesake.
You don't get to be on the edge of a sport growing very often.
But why is it becoming so popular? For starters, it's relatively cheap to play. All you need is a paddle, perforated plastic ball, and an unoccupied section of a tennis court. Many players say it's also helping them stay in shape and combat personal struggles.
I have more energy because I'm running a lot on the court. It's not very heavy on the body.
I found a community here and started playing, and it was kept me from day drinking.
And people seem to love it so much, it's even replacing other sports many used to enjoy.
I told myself, I'm going to first start out with pickleball, and then I'll transition back to tennis. I've only stuck with pickleball.
Close to 5 million people in the U.S. currently play pickleball, almost double the amount from a few years ago. The USA Pickleball Association says it's becoming increasingly attractive with those 55 and under. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Getting your kids to play sports, particularly team sports, could help keep their mental health in check. A California State University Fullerton study says kids playing team sports are less likely to have mental health problems, and kids playing individual sports have greater mental health risks than those who don't play sports at all. The study reviewed more than 11,000 kids between ages 9 and 13. Children in team sports had fewer signs of anxiety, depression, withdrawal, and attention problems. The findings were published in Public Library of Science 1. Crews are building homes made out of foam that are 100% recyclable and more cost-effective during the supply shortage that we're seeing. Steve Nielsen has more.
Listen close. Do you hear that? Exactly. This is the world's quietest construction site because instead of machinery to cut wood, here at a foam home, crews heat up a wire with a battery pack, stretch it out, and then slice the foam like butter. Then they glue it to the rest of the house with a glue that turns into more foam.
So it is 100% breathable, 100% livable. It is FDA approved and 100% recyclable.
Amir Siabi with Strata International Group shows us this 6,000 square foot home being built in the valley with their product. They say as lumber's only grown in cost, foam hasn't really. In fact, building a home this way can be 10 to 50% cheaper.
No supply chains in the last year that has ever affected us, and no supply chains moving forward that's affecting us.
Eventually, the foam's covered in a thin layer of their concrete formula, and you'd never tell it was a foam home. You might think foam makes a rickety home. They say you're wrong. In fact, they tell us the foam can withstand more than 200-mile-per-hour winds. They call it earthquake and hurricane-proof and fire-resistant. Amir says the home is essentially made out of insulation, so it's more than twice as energy efficient as a traditional wood structure.
This is the only type of construction that makes sense moving forward due to climate change, due to supply chain. This is the type of product that will make sense to build with, not only because of cost, time frame, but it saves our world as well as being as the most eco-friendly product to build with.
A program in Massachusetts is looking to make people safer in the water. And as Fox's Wale Aliyu reports, the program is for everyone of all ages.
Even when the swim lessons were over, 4-year-old Mabel Johnson tried several times to jump back in the pool because to her, this is
playtime.
But it only takes seconds for playtime to turn into a police investigation after a drowning.
My biggest fear.
That's why Christina Johnson signed her 4- and 7-year-old up for swim lessons.
Box room. 1, 2, 3.
But spending hundreds every month was not sustainable.
As important as it was, it just became an expense that we didn't have. And so it was really nice when we got the phone call.
That phone call from the British Swim School of Worcester, now offering free lessons paid for by a state initiative called Swim Safe Massachusetts. They have locations in Paxton, Worcester, and here in Westboro.
The goal in the beginner's class is for parents to get their kids so comfortable being in the water that they eventually no longer need to be in the water with them, but could just lay by the pool with their feet in the water as their kid gains more independence.
It's really rewarding to watch them go from a stage where they're a little bit hesitant or potentially fearful of the water to be able to achieve those goals within the water. We went to a pool yesterday, and to watch that, she knew what to do. If she got tired, she could roll over, she could float on her back, and then she knew then to keep swimming to get to safety on the side. It's been amazing.
We want to leave you with a smile. A dog in South Carolina has become the newly crowned king when it comes to outlasting time. Pebbles was certified as the world's oldest living dog at 22 years, 50 days. The Guinness World Records group gave the toy fox terrier the title after passing previous title holder 21-year-old Toby Keith, a Chihuahua out of Florida. Owners Bobby and Julie Gregory applied for the application after hearing about Toby Keith, and Pebbles likes cat food, sleeping, walks, snuggling, and country music. That does it for us. I'm Jamie Holmes. Thanks so much for watching.